And I was also told, and CBC probably will say, no, that never happened. I was told that he's banned from the network.
So Travis Dhanraj was a CBC anchor. He had his own show. He is no longer with the CBC. He is saying that there's an enormous amount of bias, political bias at the CBC, and that he wasn't allowed to have conservatives. He wasn't allowed to have conservatives on that he wanted. It's a partisan organization. So he started up a new podcast with a fellow host. And he's spilling the beans, and he's suing the CBC right now.
The folks that are in the boardroom right now figuring out whether or not they're going to sue Can't Be Censored and Travis Dhanraj, or what statement they're going to put out when the media ask about this. They need to stop concentrating on that and recognize that there is a problem, that there are Canadians, a large proportion of Canadians, losing trust in this institution. And until you recognize
lost trust, it's gone and it's not coming back.
That there is a problem, you cannot start to deal with it. And really, they really have to deal with this.
They're not going to. It's Can't Be Censored, the podcast, or CBC. So that was good. I like that. Yet they don't care. They know where which side their bread is buttered on. They know that they're going to lose funding if the Conservatives win. So it's life and death for them. They will fight tooth and nail to keep the Liberals in. Let's take a look at this. So who's banned on the CBC?
You didn't follow the protocols.
Yeah.
Right? So I had to send this apologetic email where I was like, I'm so sorry I didn't follow the protocols.
And this happened again pretty early on when you were contacted by a prominent American.
Tucker Carlson called me.
Okay, Tucker. Let's just
Tucker Carlson called me, and by the way, he's coming on this show, and I'm supposed to go on his show to talk about all this stuff. And I don't know.
So he had to leave the CBC to interview Tucker Carlson, to talk to Tucker Carlson. It shows you what the CBC is. Not Can't Be Censored. But the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
Tucker Carlson, I didn't have his phone number in my phone or anything like that. My phone rang one day, and it was Tucker Carlson. And he said, I watched your Intersection panel. I'm up here in Canada. I like the Intersection panel. I'm going to interview Danielle Smith for this fireside chat, the Premier of Alberta. And I'd like to come on the show. And I thought, well, that's actually, there's news value to it because he's interviewing Danielle Smith. He's in Canada. There were news stories about it. Why not do an interview with Tucker Carlson? However,
and by the way, the ratings would be great. That would draw eyes, right? Why? Because you'd get an audience that doesn't normally watch the CBC because they don't like it, because it demonizes them. A big part of Canadian society, right? And the CBC, its mission is supposed to be to represent all Canadians. So you'd think it would be a no-brainer if there was any integrity there, if it wasn't just simply a propaganda arm of the Liberal Party. And they weren't just operating completely on ideological grounds.
I got in trouble for reaching out to an American commentator without telling people. I didn't reach out to him. Mm-hmm. And I was also told, and CBC probably will say, no, that never happened. I was told that he's banned from the network. And then I was pulled into a meeting, basically, and I was like, well, why? And they're like, well, he's a white nationalist. I'm like, I don't necessarily know if that's the case.
Who else is banned on the network?
I don't like that she cut him off there. I would like to have heard more about that. He's saying, I don't know necessarily if that's the case. Well, he's not. He's clearly not. Right? He's self-avowedly not a white nationalist. Right? That's actually insane to call him that. But again, this is the state broadcaster that shows you how ideological they really are, and how much their ideology has distanced themselves from just reality.
Network.
Well, that's the thing, right? There are a lot of people banned on my show.
In a different way, meaning you weren't allowed to
there are people.
ask
Listen,
them.
I had a reporter call me the other day who was and will remain nameless because we're good friends, but like was in like one of these editorial meetings, and they were telling me like they wanted to have somebody on a particular issue, and like they were told like that person's not allowed on, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know how that decision is made. How like they're actually banning people from coming on now.
Yeah, it's because they're a propaganda outlet and he wasn't getting the message. They were trying to tell him. They're trying to tell him, no, we don't do news here. You have to understand, we're not doing news. We're not trying to inform the public. We're trying to manipulate the public. So here, Toronto Sun. I was used as a token. Muzzled no more. Travis Dhanraj rips CBC. A new podcast with Carmen Wong says diversity should be of thought, not just skin color. See, he didn't get the memo. No. Diversity is just a facade. Like diversity of skin color is a facade. What they want is a total uniformity of ideology, total uniformity of thought. They want a monoculture, right? The whole skin color thing is just a facade for them. No, it's really just about total ideological conformity. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.